Hello everyone, so let's continue. So far yet we have learned about the foundation, growth and development of Vijayanagar Empire, or it was originally known as Karnataka Samrajyamu. In the year 1336, this empire or Samrajyamu was founded by two brothers named Harihar and Bukka. Those two brothers were employed at the court of Kampilyas, ruler of Kampilya, but Kampilyas were conquered by Muhammad bin Tughlaq, and in this way Harihar and Bukka became the employees of the Delhi Sultanate. But because of weaknesses of the rule of Muhammad bin Tughlaq, as it was difficult for Muhammad to rule South India directly or to control South India directly from Delhi. It was really difficult. So they got a golden opportunity to establish a kingdom for themselves called Vijayanagar Empire in the year 1336. Harihar and Bukka, who belonged to Sangama dynasty. So from 1336, the Vijayanagar Empire lasted till 1565, and in the year 1565, the sultans of the Deccan, mainly Bijapur, Ahmednagar, and Golconda, they came together. They formed an alliance against the ruler of the last dynasty named Arabidu dynasty named Ram Raya, and Ram Raya was defeated. Eventually, Ram Raya was defeated on the battlefield of Talikota, which was also known as Rakshas Tangdi. And in this way, the empire had come to an end, and also Vijayanagar city, the capital, Vijayanagar city was ransacked or plundered by the soldiers, cavalrymen, and the sultans of the Deccan Sultanate, the Ghani Sultanate. Okay, so here we have a few pictures or glimpse of Vijayanagar city and Vijayanagar Empire. So temples, the rulers, the Rayas, the Nayakas, military commanders, they got constructed a huge and large number of temples. And in the 1800 common era, the city of Vijayanagara was discovered by Colin Mackenzie at a place in Karnataka called Hampi. See, here we have pictures or sites discovered by Colin Mackenzie at Hampi, discovered at Hampi, Karnataka by Colin Mackenzie in 1800. So here है Colin Mackenzie and his allies, subordinates, and we were talking about Rayas, Nayakas and Sultans. And here we have a market picture of a marketplace at Hampi, and this was a market during the time of Vijayanagara Empire. And this particular stone block provides us state symbol of the Vijayanagara Empire. तो इसमें एक बोर, बरा, ठीक है, a sword, crescent, chandrama, and a sun. Okay, sun, boar, sword, crescent. And Harihar and Bukka founded the empire in 1336 and continued till 1565. And contemporary rulers were Gajpatis of Odisha and the Dakkani Sultanates. And Gajpatis of Odisha, Rayas, or the rulers of Vijayanagara Empire, and Dakkani Sultans, they fought for Krishna and Tubhadra Doab, but they also fought for very profitable or lucrative sea trade. And import of horses from Saudi Arabia, in fact Arabian Peninsula, not particularly Saudi Arabia, Arabian Peninsula and Central Asia was very important for royal kingdoms because hot and humid climatic condition of peninsular India was not well suited for the breeding of horses. So most of the time the Rayas, the Dakkani Sultans and Gajpatis of Odisha, they were busy in importing horses from Central Asia and Arabia, and the horse traders, they were known as Kudire Chettis. Chetti means traders. Kudire Chettis, horse traders, and local community of merchants who were known as Kudire, Chettis or horse merchants who had also participated in these trading activities. And Portugal people, they also became an important player in the politics of South India or economy of South India. So like 1498, when Portugal started coming to India, and the first Portugal who came to India and reached at the uh, port of Calicut or Kozhikode, named Vasco da Gama. And the Portugal, they were immensely benefited because of their military advancement, military superiority, and use of muskets, kind of gun. So their superior military technology, especially use of muskets, and enable them to become important players in politics. Okay, ये हमने पढ़ा था. And Vijayanagara was also noted for its markets dealing in spices, in particular black pepper, textiles like silk and cotton cloths, and precious and semi-precious stones and pearls they had procured from oceans. And trade was often regarded as status symbol for such cities, and cater to the needs of elite class, richer strata of peninsular India society and the world society. And revenue, the rayas derived from trade, in turn contributed significantly to the prosperity of the state. And the first dynasty, called Sangama dynasty, founded by Harihar and Bukka in 1336, and they were supplanted, they were replaced by Narsingh Salua, and who founded his own dynasty called Salua dynasty, military commander who remained in power till 1503, and they were replaced by Tuluas. Tuluva dynasty was the third dynasty, and the most famous ruler, Krishna Dev Raya, who belonged to Tuluva dynasty, was characterized by expansion. His rule was characterized by expansion and consolidation, and he had successfully acquired land between Krishna and Tungbhadra. The ruler of Odisha, Gajpati, was defeated, and several defeats were inflicted on the Sultan of Bijapur. So he emerged as the most powerful ruler, Krishnadev Raya. And strains began to show after the death of Krishnadev Raya in 1529, and his successors were troubled by rebellious Nayakas or military chiefs, and by 1542, control at the center had shifted to another ruling dynasty, ruling lineage, that of the Aravidu, which remained in power till the end of 17th century. And an alliance of the sultans of Bijapur, Golconda and Ahmednagar caused downfall of Vijayanagara Empire at Talikota, also known as Rakshasi Tangadi, in the year 1565. So this battle proved to be decisive and fatal for the existence, for the mere existence of the Vijayanagara Empire. So what exactly had happened, that Ram Raya, the last ruler of Aravidu dynasty, started playing a game, and he put South India's Dakkani sultans against each other, and he came to be famous for his conspiracies broke out against, organized against the Dakkani sultans. So eventually, the Dakkani sultans came to know about the games played by Ram Raya, and in this way they formed an alliance. They came to know about the policy of Ram Raya, तो वो समझ गए कि राम राय उनको एक दूसरे के खिलाफ लड़ा रहा है. So they came together, they formed a tripartite alliance, sultans of Bijapur, Golconda and Ahmednagar, and this caused downfall of Vijayanagara Empire, and the city of Vijayanagara was ransacked and plundered and destroyed. And we were also talking about Nayakas and Amar Nayakas. So military chiefs, Nayakas were military chiefs who exercised power and usually controlled forts, and had armed supporters. They controlled forts and had armed supporters. They were like feudal lords, subordinate feudal lords who were subordinated by the Rayas or the kings of Vijayanagara Empire. And they often moved from one region to another one looking for fertile tract to make new settlements. तो ये एक एरिया से दूसरे एरिया घूमते रहते थे नायकास and they moved from one region to another, one area to another in search of fertile tracts and also to make settlements. And these chiefs were known as nayakas, nayak, who usually spoke either Telugu or Kannada, Telugu or Kannada. While Krishnadev Raya, who belonged to third dynasty, Tuluva dynasty, was he apart from being a great ruler, Krishnadev Raya was also a great writer, and he wrote two textbooks in two different languages. So in Telugu, Krishnadev Raya he wrote Amukta Malyada, and in Sanskrit he wrote Jamvanti Kalyanam. So Telugu was the court language. Telugu was the court language, and another important language was Kannada. Okay. And they submitted Nayakas or military chiefs who submitted to the authority of the kings, but often rebelled. They became rebellious from time to time as they had enjoyed military power. So and many times the rayas or the rulers had to suppress, had to crush the revolts or rebellions of nayakas. And Amar Nayaka, okay, Amar Nayaka system, this institution of Amar Nayaka was the most important, perhaps the most important feature of Vijayanagara Empire. And this Amar Nayaka system was similar to that of इक्तदारी सिस्टम ऑफ द दिल्ली सल्तनत. अभी हम लोग इस पे लौटते हैं, पहले ये लिखिएगा. Nayakas. Nayakas or military chiefs. Nayakas or military chiefs. So note down 2 or 3 important points here. First one, military chiefs exercised power and usually controlled forts and had armed supporters. Military chiefs exercised power and usually controlled forts and had armed supporters. Second one, they often moved from one area to another one in search of fertile land to make settlements. These chiefs were known as Nayakas, who usually spoke Telugu or Kannada. Third one, they submitted to the authority of the kings or Rayas, but often rebelled and had to be subdued by military action, Nayaka or military chief. So Nayakas were like feudal lords, feudal lords subordinated by the Rayas, but very often they raised the banner of revolt and they had to be suppressed and subdued by the Rayas. While Amar Nayaka system was a bit different from Nayaka. तो अमर नायका जो थे वो इनसे थोड़े अलग थे. वो एक तरीके के यूं समझिए अमर नायकास वर आल्सो मिलिट्री कमांडर्स, स्मॉलर पेटी मिलिट्री कमांडर्स, बट दे एक्टेड मोर लाइक ऑफिशियल्स ऑफ द स्टेट, who were transferred from time to time by the kings or rayas, like Ikta system of the Delhi Sultanate. So text reading. अमर नायकास, अमर नायकास इसमें लिखिएगा Amar Nayaka system was a major political innovation of the Vijayanagara Empire, and its many features were in fact derived from the Ikta system of the Delhi Sultanate. Ikta system of the Delhi Sultanate. So, next paragraph. Amar Nayakas were military commanders. ठीक है ना, there were military commanders who were given territories to govern. Amarnayakas were military commanders who were given territories to govern. They were assigned a particular area. So like the sultans of the Delhi Sultanate, they assigned to the military commanders particular region or area called Iqtadari, or Iqta in fact, half conquered territory. And whenever a person or a military commander was appointed as the Iqtadar of a particular area, he became the manager, in fact manager of that particular area. He was required to manage his Iqta, required to rule his Iqta. But he was not the owner, he was not the ruler of his Iqta, he was a mere official of the state who was required to suppress the revolts and rebellions at his particular Iqta. He was also required to manage a contingent or a small army and to extract land revenue from the peasants and trade taxes from the traders. And after meeting their expenses, Iqtadars of the Delhi Sultanate were required to deposit this surplus before the Sultan, and he was also required, and Iqtadar was also required to send gift to the Sultan from time to time. And to exercise complete command over the Iqtadars, the sultans continued transferring Iqtadars from one Iqta to the another one to break any kind of developing nexus. तो वो इक्तदारों का सुल्तान क्या करते थे, इक्तदारों का ट्रांसफर कराते रहते थे. So they were, इक्तदार्स were more like officials of the state and not the owner of the land they had received. So they were the military commanders who exercised, who were also given civilian rights or right to rule a particular territory, right to manage a particular territory called Iqta, and thus they came to be known as Iqtadars. So Amar Nayakas were military commanders who were given territories to govern. Okay, territories to govern. इसी में लिखिएगा. They collected taxes and other dues from peasants, craft persons, shilpkar, and traders in their area. ठीक है, तो ये मिलिट्री कमांडर है, आर्मी मेंटेन करेंगे और अपने पर्टिकुलर एरिया में टैक्स वसूली करेंगे, लेकिन इनको अपना खर्च भी तो उसी में से निकालना होगा ना. तो दे वर रिक्वायर्ड टू यूज अ पार्ट ऑफ टोटल रेवेन्यू कलेक्शन, and after meeting their expenses of the army and personal expenses, and Amar Nayaka, this official, was required to deposit this surplus before the Raya or the king. Okay. They retained part of the revenue. They retain part of the revenue for personal use and for maintaining a contingent and for maintaining a contingent. और ये इनकी जो आर्मी होती थी ये अपनी आर्मी राजा को प्रोवाइड भी कराते थे. सो दे provided to the Rayas effective fighting force with which Rayas conquered entire peninsular India. ठीक है, एक काम ये करते थे ये लोग और दान दक्षिणा के काम भी करेंगे. सो अ पार्ट ऑफ रेवेन्यू was also used for the maintenance of temples, schools and colleges, water bodies. ये सब भी चल रहा था. तो इसी में लिखिएगा a part of the revenue was also used for the maintenance of temples, and irrigation works. और फिर जैसे दिल्ली सल्तनत में इक्तादार्स of the Delhi Sultanate, they sent from time to time gifts to the sultans of the Delhi Sultanate. So in a similar way, even these Amar Naikas, they also paid to the Rayas or the kings gifts from time to time. So the Amar Naikas sent tribute or gifts to the Rayas or kings. And personally appeared in the royal court, समय समय पे हाजिरी लगाएगा in the royal court with gifts to express their loyalty, to express their gifts, to express their loyalty. ठीक है, तो ये एक तरीके से ऑफिशियल्स हो गए ना, ऑफिसर्स हैं, मिलिट्री ऑफिसर्स. तो राजा या राया इन पे कंट्रोल करने के लिए इनको टाइम टू टाइम अलग अलग एरियाज में ट्रांसफर करता रहता था, सो दैट दे माइट नॉट डेवलप एनी काइंड ऑफ वेस्टेड इंटरेस्ट एट अ पर्टिकुलर प्लेस and also to break any kind of developing nexus. तो इसी में लिखिएगा आगे kings occasionally asserted their control over them by transferring them from one place to another place. ठीक है ना? तो ये बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है। तो अगर क्वेश्चन बनेगा तो ज्यादा चांसेस है कि क्वेश्चन नायका एंड अमर नायका, डिफरेंशिएट बिटवीन नायकास एंड अमर नायकास ऑफ द विजयनगरा एम्पायर, और critically examine the role played by the Amar Nayakas in the administration of Vijayanagara Empire. तो ये यहां से ये बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है डिस्कशन। Amar Nayakas, so they were like military officers. Amar Nayakas or military officers. So Amar Nayaka system was a major political innovation of the Vijayanagara Empire, but not a completely new thing or institution developed by the Rayas. So most of its features were derived from Iqtadari system of the Delhi Sultanate. And Amar Nayakas, they were military commanders who were given territories to govern. So particular Amar Nayaka was stationed at a particular place, and they were given a right to collect lagan or land revenue from the taxes from the peasants and other taxes from handicraftsmen and traders. And they were also allowed to retain a part of total revenue collection, as they were also expected to maintain a contingent or an army, okay, for and also to derive their personal expenses or salary उसी collection से personal uses के लिए भी revenue for personal use and for maintaining a contingent, ठीक है। और टाइम टू टाइम ये राया को अपना आर्मी जब भी जरूरत पड़ेगी, so whenever the Amar Nayakas were asked to provide their contingents, they were expected to do so, okay। तो फाइटिंग फोर्स भी दे रहे हैं रायास को, और जो ये रेवेन्यू कलेक्शन करते थे उसका एक हिस्सा जाता था मेंटेनेंस ऑफ टेम्पल्स एंड इरिगेशन वर्क्स, व्हिच वाज वेरी वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट फॉर द एग्रीकल्चर ऑफ पेनिनसुलर इंडिया। सो द अमर नायकास, they sent tribute to the rayas or kings and personally appeared in the royal court with gifts to express their gratitude or loyalty. So kings occasionally asserted control over them by transferring them from one region to another region. Okay, so Nayaka and Amar Nayaka system of the Vijayanagara Empire. ठीक है, वापस आते हैं हम लोग इस पे। Now let's see some images of the temples of Vijayanagara Empire constructed on the orders of Rayas and Nayakas and Amar Nayakas, but mainly Rayas and Nayakas. Many temples were constructed, like Vitthal Swami temple, Hajara temple, Virupaksha temple, बहुत सारे temples Rayas और Nayakas ने बनवाए थे। And not only temples, they also made arrangements for irrigation works, वो ponds ये सब बनवाना, water bodies बनवाना, water channels, aqueducts like Roman aqueducts, ancient Roman aqueducts, water channels, तो वो एक्वीडक्ट्स बनाते थे। एक्वा मतलब पानी, डक्ट मतलब चैनल, वाटर चैनल, टू इंश्योर सप्लाई ऑफ वाटर फ्रॉम अ वाटर रिजर्वायर टू द सिटी ऑफ विजयनगरा। देखिए ये तो बेसिक प्लान, एक मैप हो गया विजयनगर एम्पायर का। एंड हियर वी हैव दिस पिक्चर ऑफ एक्वीडक्ट वाटर चैनल। ये क्या है? ये वाटर channel है, water channel, okay, an aqueduct like ancient Roman aqueduct. And here we have this massive or big gateway and a gateway to the fortified wall or a gateway in the fortification wall. तो ये एक बड़ा गेटवे है और and if you could observe the structure or basic plan of this gateway, so in fact this gateway itself is an arch or a mihrab and is complete and seems to be clearly inspired by the way of construction of mihrabs of the mihrab by the sultans of the Delhi Sultanate. So resembles like a gateway, like alai darwaja. alai darwaja पे ज्यादा दीवारें, ये सिंपली एक आर्च है, मिहराब है. अलाई दरवाजा भी एक तरीके का गेटवे है, लेकिन वो थोड़ा ज्यादा बड़ा इससे. और इसमें देखिए ये स्टोन्स, ब्रिक्स स्टोन्स लगाए गए हैं कि इनमें फिटिंग किया गया है. स्टोन्स की फिटिंग बहुत शानदार है, वो भी बिना लाइम मोर्टार, बिना मसाले के. मसाला मतलब स्पाइसेस नहीं, पत्थर को जोड़ने वाला. ठीक है. So a gateway in the fortification wall. And देखिए, the most striking feature of or about the location of Vijayanagar Empire, Vijayanagar Empire is the, or Vijayanagar city particularly, is the natural basin, river basin formed by the river Tungabhadra. And in almost all cases, embankments, bandh, like a small dam, embankments were built along these water channels or rivers or streams to create reservoirs of varying sizes. Reservoirs. So Vijayanagara rulers also started constructing water reservoirs for ensuring irrigation facilities to their peasants. Okay, Kamalapuram tank and Hiria Canal. Kamalapuram Canal, tank, Hiria Canal, all these water reservoirs, water channels and irrigation facilities were provided by the Rayas, mainly by the Rayas, but also by the Naikas of Vijayanagara Empire. ठीक है ना. तो ये फैसिलिटी देते थे ये लोग. इसमें आप लिखिएगा water resources of Vijayanagara Empire. Water resources. So the most striking feature about the location of Vijayanagar is the natural basin formed by the river Tungabhadra. And in almost all cases, embankments, bandh, dam, embankments or dams were built along these streams to create reservoirs of varying sizes. Kamalapuram tank not only irrigated fields nearby but also conducted through a channel to the रॉयल सेंटर. पानी की सप्लाई देते थे वाटर चैनल बना करके कमलापुरम टैंक से. सीमा के लिखिएगा. दी हीरिया कैनाल irrigated the cultivated valley ठीक है ना, खेत खलिहान that separated sacred center from the urban core. ठीक है, मंदिर और शहर के बीच में दूर बाहर में मंदिर बनाए जाते थे, अंदर भी शहर में भी मंदिर बनते थे, बीच में खेत खलियान होते थे, वहां पे वाटर सप्लाई दिया जाता था. हीरिया कैनाल. सो हीरिया कैनाल, कमलापुरम टैंक, ये सब वाटर सप्लाई देने के लिए. So Hiria Canal was built not by any particular ruler but by many rulers together, many rulers of Sangama dynasty, first dynasty of Vijayanagara Empire. So this was apparently built by kings of the Sangama dynasty. ठीक है, तो ये सब ना हमें एक्सकेवेशन में भी मिला है. एंड all these facilities provided by the kings and Nayakas, our Nayakas, were also very well described by the contemporary travelers who came from distant land like from Persia, from Italy, from Europe, from other regions of Europe. तो कई सारे यात्री आया करते थे और उन्होंने जो डिस्क्रिप्शन दिया है उससे लगता है कि विजयनगर सिटी itself was one of the biggest city of the world and very well and so beautifully described by the foreign rulers or sorry, foreign travelers, not rulers. तो इसी में पैरा चेंज करके लिखिएगा. अब्दुल रज़ाक ये एम्बेसडर है पर्शिया के रूलर का. एंड ambassador sent by the रूलर ऑफ पर्शिया टू कालिकट। कालिकट को आज कालिकट या कोझिकोड बोलते हैं। कालिकट इन दी 15th century was greatly impressed by the fortifications. फोर्टिफिकेशन तो ये बता रहा है कि पूरा विजयनगर सिटी एकदम फोर्टिफाइड था, किलेबंदी की हुई थी, दीवार से, चार दीवारी से घिरा हुआ था। Okay. And Domingo Paez, another traveler who reached there and had mentioned many things about the Vijayanagara city. So Paez wrote, the king made a tank, से डॉट डॉट लगा दीजिएगा, at the mouth of two hills, दो पहाड़ियों के नीचे टैंक बना दिया। तो जिधर से भी पानी आएगा टैंक में भरेगा और फिर वहां से सप्लाई दे दिया जाएगा वाटर चैनल के थ्रू टू हिल्स, so that all the water which comes from either one side or the other collects there. ठीक है, इसी में आगे लिखिएगा पैरा चेंज करके। The fort was entered through well guarded gates which linked the city to the major roads. The 16th century Portuguese traveler ये सब याद रखना पड़ेगा आपको, नाम और ये स्टेटमेंट सब कुछ जो जो मेंशन किया। Barbosa described the houses of ordinary people which have not survived. Okay. तो ये था ओवरऑल डिस्कशन विजयनगर एम्पायर, चोला एम्पायर, विजयनगर एम्पायर, संगम पीरियड and megalithic culture, complete set of history of peninsular India in particular. And this way we have concluded our important and major topics for your history optional, except for few scattered and small topics. And those topics are either not really important for your examination or a bit factual, and you have to cover up those topics on your own. ज्यादा नहीं बचा हुआ है, थोड़ा बहुत बचा रह गया है, छिटपुट छिटपुट टॉपिक्स, और वो आपको खुद से करना होगा. So it's not possible for any teacher or for me to cover up 100% syllabus of history optional or any other optional. 100% syllabus मुमकिन नहीं होता है, and also UPSC is not going to ask from 100% syllabus. तो a part of your syllabus is not actually very relevant for IAS examination, and sometimes some topics are also not mentioned in your syllabus, but still we have to discuss those topics, and I think we have already discussed several topics that are also not the part of your syllabus. So you have my number, and I have already given to you my contact number, and there is also a group. So in case if you feel any difficulty, feel free to contact me or to send message over WhatsApp, or you can also call me after 8:30 p.m. in the evening. तो तब तक बैचेस, दिन भर के बैचेस खत्म हो जाते हैं, तो रात में 8:30 के आसपास आप मुझे कॉल भी कर सकते हैं. मैंने सबको अपना नंबर ऑलरेडी दिया हुआ है, ग्रुप में भी आप लोग हैं, व्हाट्सएप ग्रुप में भी हैं. तो एक था ये पूरा, बीच में कुछ दिन ऑफ भी रहा, वो सब थोड़ा सा प्रॉब्लम्स आ जाती हैं कभी कभी. कभी किसी सेंटर पे हम लोग होते हैं, कभी किसी सेंटर पे होते हैं, तो ये हो जाता है कि कभी स्लॉट खाली नहीं है, कभी स्टूडियो खाली नहीं होता, कई प्रॉब्लम्स हो जाती हैं. तो थोड़ा सा ज्यादा टाइम लग गया, तो होना नहीं चाहिए था, लेकिन अब क्या किया जा सकता है. ठीक है, तो 10-12 ही लेक्चर बचे रह गए थे, जिसकी वजह से बीच में आप लोग को थोड़ा वेट करना पड़ गया. तो मुझे लगता है कि जितने इंपॉर्टेंट टॉपिक्स थे पेपर 1 पेपर 2, वो सारे कुछ मैंने कवर अप कर दिए. कुछ चीजें, एक दो चीजें जो बची हुई हैं, वो मैं आप लोगों को नोट्स में व्हाट्सएप ग्रुप में प्रोवाइड करा दूंगा. और मैं ये भी बता दूंगा आपको कि कुछ जो स्कैटर्ड टॉपिक्स हैं वो आपको खुद मेहनत करना पड़ेगा, थोड़ा सा आपको लगना पड़ेगा. स्पून फीडिंग की हैबिट मत रखिएगा. हालांकि मैंने बहुत सारे टॉपिक्स कवर अप कर दिए, लेकिन उसके बावजूद भी थोड़ा बहुत आपको खुद से लगना पड़ेगा, खुद से रिफाइंड करना पड़ेगा. थोड़ी बहुत जो मैंने आपको किताबें बताई हुई हैं वो सारी पढ़नी पड़ेंगी ना, जो जो टॉपिक्स मैंने बताए हुए हैं पहले, वो सब पढ़ने पड़ेंगे. बहुत ज्यादा तो नहीं, लेकिन थोड़ा बहुत तो पढ़ना ही पड़ता है. तो बाकी इतना बहुत है. बीच बीच में जब भी लगेगा आपको क्वेश्चन आंसर करेंगे, आप सॉल्व करेंगे, कोई डिफिकल्टी होगी तो वो भी आप व्हाट्सएप ग्रुप पे मेरे से पूछ सकते हैं. ठीक है, तो फॉर्मली अब हम लोग ये बैच कंप्लीट कर रहे हैं. ठीक है, तो अब ये बैच कंप्लीट हो जाएगा. बाकी आप लोग टच में बने रहिएगा मेरे से, इंस्टीट्यूट से. ठीक है, चलिए फिर मिलेंगे कभी. थैंक यू सो मच, थैंक्स अ लॉट.